Um, so she does have Pan-European destroyers, torpedoes. Pockington thinks they're Ostergotland torps. Okay. Um, and hello, Compass Rose. Grocery store shopping. Nice. Nice. It's okay to start the show now? Cool. I'm glad you're here. So anyway, let's take a look now at the Karl. There's your 305 millimeter guns. Torpedoes. Here's what I want to find out. The torpedoes. 13.5 kilometer. And the thing about them is because they're pan-European torpedoes, they're very speedy. So these are fantastic torpedoes against people that are chasing you, which is why a lot of people consider this to be a good defensive battleship, not so much an offensive battleship. And my problem when I was playing Karl was I was playing her in ranked battles. And frankly, in ranked battles, you run into problems because, well, frankly, if you're playing defensive battleship and the rest of your team is playing, I want to go charge into the enemy and die and start again, you're not winning games. So, anyway, let's move on to your build. Oh, co-op, she's fantastic, of course. So your build, you've got main armaments mod 1. This is good to keep your torpedo tubes alive, because the torpedoes are where it's at on this ship. And your main guns too, for a certain extent. You've got damage control, you've got secondaries, propulsion, concealment, and then you went for auxiliary modification too. I don't know if I would do that in your 6th slot. I would probably go for main battery still. I just don't feel your secondaries are that worth it on this ship. They're okay, it's just, I don't know, I'd rather have my main battery firing more rapidly. What's your maneuverability? 16 seconds. So this is actually a good opportunity to highlight too for me. I would probably do steering gears here because that drops your rudder shift time to below 15. For me, I want battleships to be able to turn under 15 seconds for rudder shift time. For this ship, I think it's even more important because most of the time what you're doing is you're trying to get your torpedoes off at a target. And let's say you're being chased, you want to fire torps on one side, and you want to shift to the other and fire torpedoes off. You'll do a better job, or you'll do it easier, more efficiently with steering gears versus propulsion. Unless you're playing a lot of stop and go, I think steering gears is probably going to be the way to go for this ship. So I'd probably go steering gears instead of propulsion like you had, and I'd probably go for main battery instead of auxiliary mod here. Everything else makes perfect sense. 10-point captain. It's a premium ship, so I would hope that you'd have other strong captains, but that's okay. If you only have a 10-pointer to throw on the ship, fine. But again, I will mention this because I think it's important enough to mention it every time I get a chance to, because a lot of people don't know this about premium ships. You can take any tech tree, any captain who's currently spec'd for a tech tree ship, and you can put it on a premium ship. It doesn't cost you anything, and if it's a different class than the tech tree ship, then you have the ability to build a new commander for this premium ship. So you can take your captain that's on a Holland, and you can put him on here and build up a battleship build on this particular ship. What's nice about that is it's probably going to be higher point value than 10. Probably going to be, you know, more trained. And more importantly, especially if you're not at 21 points yet, battles in the premium ship also work to benefit the battles together with the battles in the tech tree ship to build your captain up, right? So you're getting your captain to 21 points faster. This is the most important thing to understand about the commander rework that happened a while ago, okay, is you have a lot of flexibility with it. As Cthulhu says, one of the first things you learned in game, and the way the skill system works now, it has multiplied that flexibility a lot. It used to work differently. It used to work that you only had a captain with one particular build and would only work on premium ships of that same build, and that would be it. So you wouldn't want to take a captain from a battleship build and throw it like on a destroyer, for example. But when Wargaming redid the skill rework and made it so that there are class-specific skills, essentially, if you think about it, Pan-European isn't a good example, but let's say American. For an American captain, there are 5 different classes of ships you can put an American captain onto, right? You can have that American captain spec'd out for a tech tree battleship. That could also work possibly for premium USN battleships. You could put them on premium heavy or light cruisers. You could put them on premium destroyers, premium aircraft carriers, and premium subs. That's a lot of use that you get out of a special captain. Okay? And it so happens right now in the American event, the 4th of July event, you can get George Doe and John Doe for free with enough American tokens. Get those captains if you don't have them yet. So on this one, Swirsky is a good choice because of the buffed Adrenaline Rush, of course. And he gets the talents with the torpedo hits as well. If you don't have Swirsky, a standard is fine. But to me, there's no reason not to put Swirsky on this because you're going to have Swirsky on a Tech Tree Destroyer. So put him on a Tech Tree Destroyer and work up the line together. Your first 19-pointer in every fleet had to be a compromised build, and compromise between carriers and everything else were impossible. Zath used to poke fun at your Nelson captain with Survivability Expert, but that was the reason. He had to go on Cossack. Right, exactly. That was back before... That was back before the... hey, Tree Sock. That was back before the commander rework. Now, you can afford to break them apart. It's just much easier for you. So, anyways, let's say if this is a standard captain... You're starting with Gun Feeder to switch between AP and SAP, or HE, AP and HE. Brisk to be faster when you're not detected. Adrenaline Rush, and Concealment Expert. Take a look at the description summation. It tells you your compensation, I think it's like 2.5 million credits. If you already have one of those captains. I would assume you get 5 million credits if you have both of them. Okay, so let's talk about this build for a second. One, I would go preventative maintenance to start. Why? Because this prevents your guns from being incapacitated, your secondaries and your anti-air guns live better, and the biggest thing is it helps protect your torpedo tubes. So I think preventative maintenance is 100% the first thing you need to go with on this build. Okay? Start with preventative maintenance. I don't know the gun feeder is that important. In this particular ship, in my personal experience, I found myself spamming HE more than AP. Simply because most of the targets I was shooting at were battleships or destroyers, because I was playing ranked, and even against cruisers, the AP is okay. So I don't see myself switching between AP and HE that often. So I think you're far better off starting with preventative maintenance. Your second point skill, I would always go priority target because I want to know how many people are targeting me. That informs the decision of do I need to go dark, do I need to can I be aggressive? If only one person's targeting me and I know where it is, I know I can do whatever I want. So I think that's better than Brisk. Brisk is nice because you've got really great concealment in this battleship, but that can get you in trouble too. So keep that in mind. I think priority target's your better choice here. Step 3, Adrenaline Rush is fine. And then 4, you want concealment. Now, that's fine, too. I'm going to point out, you did secondaries and you haven't done any commander skills in secondaries. In my opinion, you don't go secondaries until you build up your commander skills to go with it. That's a personal opinion thing for me. So I would absolutely run main battery mod 3, and I would absolutely run aiming systems in slot 3. Or you could even make the argument for main battery mod 2. I would absolutely go for one of those. First time catching a replay of yours live? There you go. So anyway, we were just talking about your captain build here, and I hope I gave you some feedback. Where you're gonna go from? Let me just do this. I'm gonna say this and this. From here, you're gonna want to go secondary range and manual secondaries, probably. And then you'd probably want to go emergency repair expert or fire prevention. You get unlimited DCP charges, so I'd probably go fire prevention and do something like that. If you find that you like the main battery a lot and you want to keep main battery up here in slot 6, I might pick up close quarters. When my secondaries are active, I get a bonus to my main battery reload time. That's really sexy. If you are going into secondaries, you have to be all in on the captain. Exactly correct. Preventative maintenance helps torpedo tubes. Yes. Preventative maintenance helps modules. Torpedoes are a module. Your main battery is a module. Okay? Your engines is a module. Rudder is a module. So, preventative maintenance helps all 4 of those. And that's why a loot Yenzi is so important on especially the Tech Tree Battle Cruiser line, because instead of 30% risk, it's 45% reduced risk from loot Jens because he's got buffed preventative maintenance. That's why he's so sexy on Schlieffen and why I'm seriously considering respecking mine onto the Schlieffen. Like hardcore serious thinking about doing that. Okay. Let's see. Signals, anti-det, fire extinguishing, flood reduction, engine boost or heal boost, secondary speed, consumables, and hydroacoustic. Now you do have hydroacoustic here, but it's not German. I think this is the same hydro that you get on the Groningen in Friesland, but I could be wrong. It's 5 kilometer detection instead of, what is it on the battle cruisers, 5.5? I think it's 5.5. Lugians is sexy and everything German, absolutely. We need like 5 of them, please. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into your game. And, JanOle, if you've got any questions, I mean, you're welcome to hang in the Discord channel with me on voice. You can post your questions in chat, all that good stuff. Okay, this this is gonna hurt. You found super ships. There's only one, but it's Battery. You don't want to show him side. Shikishima, don't want to show him side. Wisconsin, don't want to show him side. Giuseppe Verdi, don't want to let him get on your side. Karl, Johan, I mean, you two fight each other, cute. Stalingrad, you don't want to show him side. Ouch, this is a very punishing matchmaking for you. Ibuki will farm you to smithereens, but you can smash him with your... I don't know if you can smash him with your AP. Your Neptune you can smash with AP. Azuline Shimakaze is a threat. You've got the Hydro that'll help. Yu Yang is an even bigger threat with the deep water torpedoes. Minegumo is a threat. And there's a U-4501. The only thing you have going for you on this U-541 is that he's pink. So... do you recommend HE or AP as the main load with the guns? With these guns, HE. With these guns, HE. I would, and generally speaking, when you're getting into your initial engagement, especially in ranked as a battleship player, I like to have HE loaded, unless like I'm in a Vermont. I mean, you saw what Big O did earlier with the Vermont AP, but if I'm in a battleship where the AP shells aren't the strongest, like Scharnhorst, this ship, HE is the better choice, because for HE you want to, you basically, pausing it for a sec, because I know what you're about to do and I don't like it. Generally speaking, you want HE or AP, either one, but probably HE. As soon as you see a destroyer, you want to murderize it. You're about to take a shot on the Patrie right now. Look at your positioning on the minimap. You're turning sideways to do it. If you open up on the Patrie right now, he can fire back at you. You don't know where the Stalingrad is, or you don't know where the Shiki is. The Stalingrad's on the other side of the map. You don't have to worry about the Stalingrad. But you don't know where the Shikishima is. You don't know where the Wisconsin is. So, I don't know that I like that. You can switch to AP if you think you're going to have a good opportunity to use it. Yes, but here's the thing. For the Karl Johan especially, like I said earlier, you're only using your AP against maybe broadside cruisers. Even then, an Ibuki can probably defeat your AP. So really, you're using it on the Neptune, and that's about it. So, I just don't respect the AP on this ship. Watch the shot you're about to take right here on the Patrie, by the way. You're waiting for your rear turret? No, you're not. You're just going to shoot. Okay. Let's see what your AP does here. This is a broadside Patrie with 32mm armor all around. Slow down and turn out. I don't know if I keep going straight. 2 overpens, 1 pen, and 1 ricochet. 3 overpens, 2 pens, and that's it. You have 8 total hits for 8,000 damage. You're doing 1,000 damage a hit. That's really piss poor. HE comes in more handy because you can start a fire on him. If you start a fire on him, hey, he could DCP that fire, you get him on fire again, and now you're getting all that HE fire damage. Or he doesn't DCP and lets it burn, and you're getting all that HE fire damage. Now you're turning and running, so now's the perfect opportunity to luck chuck torpedoes through torpedo lanes. You choose one or the other, or both, frankly. Just luck chuck them. You got a great chance of fire with main guns, absolutely. But yeah, look at how far your torpedoes reach, right? They're 13.5, aren't they? Yeah, they're 13.5. Where's 13.5 on the minimap? Is this one it, or is this one it? I think it's this one. Tell us what you really think.
Enemy submarine spotted.
I am, frankly. Okay, look, see what you did with the AP on the Neptune? Like I said, the AP is going to be fine on the Neptune. For everything else, pretty much in this game, it's not going to help unless you're up close and broadside on a cruiser. I'm known for not calling a spade for a spade. If you're talking about, like, being toxic and stuff, yeah, I try to stay away from that. That torpedo on the battery, in order for that to hit, you gotta hope that he turns in. These guys here are your better choice for torpedo. Even then, they're all turning away and running. I guess Patria is a fine choice for luck-checking torps. What did you just Citadel? Was that the Ibuki? I think that was the Ibuki. Okay.
Enemy destroyer sighted. Enemy cruiser detected.
Was it the Neptune? Okay. Thank you, Pak. I'm like looking at chat and so much at the same time. So yeah, further demonstration of, look, your AP is great against the Neptune and sucks on everything else. So switch to HE here. Cool. 3 torpedo hits on the Patrie for double flood. You better believe he's going to DCP that immediately. Switch to HE here. Get him on fire. You might also want to tell your team that he DCP'd. Okay, that was a decent hit. 3 pens.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Yeah, if I think you made a mistake, I will let you know. You nearly spat out your damage on 1,000 per shell. That's piss poor. Well, it is. In a battleship, if I'm doing 1,000 damage per shell, I would be very unhappy. You know?
Ship is on fire.
One other thing I'm going to mention so far, I haven't seen you slow down yet. You have continued to move. You hit W 4 times. And ever since then, you've been turning around. I like the Hydro. You see the 2 torpedo destroyers here, and you realize the torpedo threat, and so you're making adjustments. I do like that a lot. But with your lack of switching your speeds, you really want to investigate using your turret, your rudder shift instead. And Leo 5 2017, thank you for the follow. Welcome on it. Ironically enough, you might be aiming too low on the Patrie there. 2 torpedo protections, 1 overpen. I would have aimed higher. Aim for upper belt, and also don't sail broadside to him. That hurts. You're getting slapped around heavily for this. Well, if you don't play with your speed as a habit, then build your ship accordingly and say, okay, well, I don't want to remind myself to play with my speed. So put the rudder shift one on, and you'll do better with moving in circles like you're doing here. The gold ammo. Ugh. Thank God that is not in World of Warships.
Torpedoes to starboard. All stations reporting the position of a strategic target. Torpedoes to starboard.
Yet. God. You might not have range on the 4501 now. I don't think you do. What's your 10 kilometer? Okay. But I would still be F3ing on it, trying to get the Buffalo to put... The Buffalo should be in range. I would hit F3 on him. No, everybody's opinion is we don't need gold ammo. Okay, the Buffalo did. There you go. Heal, 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 heal. There you go. Nice. I will say this. I do not like your decision to head towards something that you know counters you, right? And especially considering that both of these destroyers were last seen heading back this direction, you're legitimately sailing towards a lot of hate. And your Hydro's down for another minute and 20 seconds. Oh, look, the Ibuki is spotted right when you switch to HE.
Concentrate fire.
Unfortunate.
Target.
But I like you shooting your guns. You need to turn. Because he's probably luck chuck torping you right now. You notice how he didn't shoot at you for a while? That's an indicator he's firing torpedoes at you. One of your clanmates calls HE gold ammo. Alright, here we go. Here's AP on an Ibuki. What's going to happen to him? The Sleeven's going to kill him.
Team has taken the lead.
Problem solved, sir.
Wiggle more, throw off their aim. Or, what I like to do is drive in a straight line and be like, "There, I don't know what I'm doing." And then as soon as they fire their guns, then I start wiggling. You really mess with people that doing that way. Also, you should be luck chucking your torpedoes like a lot more.
Torpedoes to starboard.
One ASW and then wait about 5 to 10 seconds and then another ASW. You don't need to fire both right away. If the first round gets him on fire or flood, look at everybody else doing it too, right? He'll DCP that. And what you want is you want him to DCP it and then end up taking another, like a full fire or flood afterwards from a follow-up
Torpedoes direct front.
ASW drop. Sinking secured by the team. Yes.
Enemy battleship detected.
Right there is why you don't play subs. I mean, he wasn't
Torpedoes to starboard.
that much of a threat. Oh, look! You found the Yu Yang, and you have Hydro going, which means you're going to spot him in a couple of seconds because you're going to charge him, and he's going to sit in the smoke.
Concentrate fire on the target.
That's exciting. I think I just saw a flare go off above him. I did. A very good sub player is a pain in the butt to deal with, and honestly, he did a nice job of not YOLOing out and getting killed early. Most of JanOle's team here wasn't really able to do much about him until at the end. Speaking about the end, I have a feeling the end is nigh. Here's where steering gears would have helped you turn a little bit earlier to dodge these torpedoes.
Our victory is in sight.
Oh, 690.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
And you're going to take this one lone torpedo, and that will kill you right here. Fuck her up. Kiss, 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 kiss. And there is our death pick. What's up, Buzzrap? Well, chat voted for Catalunya, so we can do the Catalunya one, hard case. Don't worry about it. So, general things. One is, I see you moving around a lot. That's good and it's bad, right? It's good in that it makes it difficult for enemies to torpedo you. It's bad because you're also not able to really focus on individuals and stuff like that because you're moving around so much. The other thing is, you've got really long-range torpedoes that are fast, that cause floods and stuff like that. Chuck them. When you are within range of where enemies are operating, just chuck them. Luck chuck them all over the place. You never know what's going to work for that, okay? Yes, exactly. They're great for killing destroyers. Hell, you could have hit that 4501 with a luck chuck torpedo as well. So, just luck chuck them, and you're good. Congrats to those Buffalo for not dying, by the way. I really think you should change your setup a bit. I already talked about the steering gears. I think you should drop the auxiliary mod and go for main guns. And I really think you should also go to aiming systems or turret traverse. With how much you're turning, actually turret traverse might be the better slot 3 mod for you. You should be firing HE as much as you can. Oh, you actually got 2 million potential. Fire HE as much as you can. Okay? AP for when you're up against a broadside battleship at very close range. I'm talking point blank, like 3 kilometer. or you're shooting at a super light cruiser like a Neptune or,
Victory is in sight.
I don't know, a Jinan or something like that. But you saw against like an Ibuki, it didn't do too much. We're going to take a look at the end of this replay, and we're going to look at the damage done with your shells. And the type of shells that you did damage with. I'm very curious about this. Let's take a look. And that was a Minigumo Torp that killed you. 126,000 damage. 2 kills. Where'd you end up on the team score? Second place, only to the Buffalo, who did work over there too. Is JanOle a co-op main? I don't know. He'd have to answer that himself. Okay. Let's take a look. The tree. You hit him 30 times for 36,000 damage. 30 AP shells for 36,000 damage. Just not a good play. You're fine. You came in second place on the scoreboard. Okay? You have a build that I would consider suboptimal for the way that you play the ship. You still fired AP mostly, and, you left some damage on the table because of that. But, dude, you came in second place. Don't put yourself down like that. Come on. So, that to me is just really poor performance out of your AP. Okay? Your torpedoes, your 5 torpedo hits did almost as much as your 30 AP shells. If they were HE, you would have started fires. You would have probably done more damage overall. Yu Yang, HE main battery, there you go. Neptune, this was your food, and boy, did you play with that. 7 AP hits, or 22,000 damage. Much, much better. And that highlights right here the difference in ship that you're shooting at. A very poorly armored ship where your AP, because remember, it's 305, you've got anemic AP. That doesn't matter. A tree with 32mm armor all around, that's a bigger difference. HE. Let's look at the Ibuki. You hit him 4 times with HE and 2 times with AP. And you did roughly the same damage regardless. Big PP gaming. Alright. Giuseppe Verdi, you hit him 8 times for 8,000 damage. Same problem that you had with the Patrie. About 1,000 damage. Minegumo, 4 APHE shells. U-50 4501, 1 depth charge, airstrike hit. Overall, you fired 16 HE shells for 18,000 damage and 47 shells for 69,000 damage. So you technically did more damage per shell with AP than HE. But keep in mind, with HE, you're also starting fires, which could also have an impact on damage done. Okay. Let's look at credits and HE, or credits and XP, I mean. Not too shabby. Well, yes, if it wasn't for the Neptune, you'd have a lot less AP damage overall. So the Neptune, he's your damage pinata. And it's a Neptune, so that's what he gets for playing Neptune. All right, let's pull up the replay render tool. As far as the discussion of co-op versus random battles, the nice thing about co-op is you can turn your brain off. After a long day at work or stressful day at the office, whatever, you can just open up the game, press W, murderize some bots, and move on with your life. Ironically enough, co-op is usually a better way to deal with a lot of the combat missions out there that require you to get so many kills, citadels, planes shot down, etc., etc. And lastly, if you're not worried about credits, I think actually co-op per minute gain might be better than randoms per minute. As a mechanic, your brain doesn't always work for you. There you go. Anyway, so opportunity luck chuck torps. Notice how good you're hitting targets with those torpedoes. So you definitely want to prioritize getting your torpedoes out more. Let them do the talking for you, and then you get the flood. You follow up with HE to set the fires and stuff, or the opposite. Take a moment before pressing B tally. Tend to play quite a lot of different ships at the same time. Yeah. So you don't think about shell types, right? So if you're used to firing battleships, you're just like, oh, I fire AP all the time. Exactly, white coat. Yep. Per game, less, but if you consider that in co-op you're alive for about 4 minutes, maybe 5, you're probably earning more XP credits per minute than randoms, assuming in randoms you live until, say, the full 20 minutes and stuff. The ultimate big brain is actually playing ranked and just YOLOing. Anyway, JanOle, thank you for sending the replay, and I think this was a very good educational replay. Chad, I'd love to get